So what does this look like to you guys?
McDonald's.
Yes, that's right. But the thing is, you know how old it is.
Oh, like weeks old. It's like 100 years old or something.
It's not quite that old. It's a week old though. Looks like I just bought it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that leads me to the question, do you know what's in your food? What's making this stay like this for a week? I watched a video where they did this experiment and the fries didn't change at all over the course of months.
Oh, yeah.
And think about it, you can find these in your car like a year after you've gotten them and it looks the same. So it's kind of a problem. So my family and I have been eating whole foods for about 6 months now. I've read a couple of books on the subject and experienced it firsthand. So now that I have your attention, let me explain to you why we need to cut out processed foods and switch to whole foods. The problem is the industrialization of the food industry. According to Michael Pollan in his book Food Rules, he says that today foods are being processed to get us to buy and eat more by pushing our evolutionary buttons. So what food scientists are doing, they're exploiting our natural preferences for sweetness, salt, and fats, which are a lot easier to manufacture in a factory than it is to find in nature. He also says that Americans are consuming a diet that is at least 1/2 sugars in one form or another. That was from his other book, In Defense of Food. Put it simply, our food is killing us. 4 of the top 10 killers in America can be linked to our diet, also according to Michael Pollan. So these things would be like obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. At the end of the day, it's all about profits for a company. The only thing they're worried about is making money. They do this not for us, but for themselves. So with processed foods damaging our bodies, it's clear that a change has to be made, or perhaps unmade. What we need to do is to eat whole foods. Whole foods are more a product of nature than a product of industry. Basically, you're going back to basics. You are what you eat is a cliche for a reason. According to Colin Campbell, a PhD, who spent 50 years in nutrition research and authored more than 300 professional research papers, food choices can prevent cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, macular degeneration, and arthritis. Just by your food choices, eating the correct things. By food being unprocessed, it retains all of its nutrients and is better able to nourish and repair your bodies. So I learned in geology that everything oxidizes. With metals and rocks and things like that, it'll rust and decompose. Humans do that too. But when we oxidize, it turns into diseases like cancer or just really bad things. Now plants also oxidize, but they had evolved to a point where they produce antioxidants. And when we eat the plants, we gain these antioxidants. And Campbell says that by eating a natural diet, we can neutralize the harmful effects of overoxidation. So now that you know a little bit about processed foods versus whole foods, let me tell you what some of that can do for your body through my personal experiences. One thing you'll notice is weight loss when you switch over. My family and I have lost about 50 pounds combined, not each of us, just total. Another thing that will happen is energy increase. Used to, I would drink at least 1 or 2 cups of coffee in the morning, and now I don't really need to do that as much. And finally, your digestive system will improve. When you think about it, life is finite, and we really shouldn't be doing anything to shorten that. This lifestyle change doesn't have to be complicated or expensive for that matter. It's simple. Eat whole foods. That's all it's going to take. You can get started by going to this website, 100daysofrealfood.com, and taking their 10 days of whole food pledge. Basically, it's a way to keep yourself accountable for 10 days. Try out the new lifestyle and see the benefits for yourself. To get you started on the right foot, I'm going to give you a list of different foods that would be a good idea to eat instead of the processed fatty foods. Now, I pulled these foods from a book by Michael Van Straten. He was the former president of the British Naturopathic and Osteopathic Association. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? They have this thing called pectin. It will reduce the harmful effects of pollution by eating An apple. The vitamin C, they also can lower your cholesterol. Sweet potatoes actually are anti-cancer. So the antioxidants in those can help prevent cancer. Raisins are a natural energy booster. They have fiber, potassium, that can reduce your blood pressure. And finally, if you're trying to lose weight, peanuts and peanut butter can actually help. One study shows that eating a teaspoon of peanut butter a day over the course of 5 weeks, you will lose about a pound per week. So it's a pretty simple way to lose weight. In conclusion, eat whole foods.